I don't think we're ever going to go to this freaking beach in this episode. I want to go to the beach, but the game's like, nope, we have to talk about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The story about a witch who gave him the gold and so forth, we obviously don't believe. However, there's no mistake about the gold.
The fact that Father obtained gold pardon and the sword can be confirmed in several ways. We heard that before the president of the Master Company died, Father's fall showed him a large amount of gold somewhere. Father used that to claim to prove that there were 10 tons worth.
Yes, it was not just a senile old man. No, his father, he just fabricating a story. Yes, you can't take it seriously.
If that gold didn't exist, he wouldn't be able to get so much funding. For the president thought he was a person with such sincere personality that he gathered respect from many in the business world. He couldn't have become a partner in such a fraud.
Brother, the president of the Makarishu definitely saw it. 10 tons of it clearly with his own eyes. Even more, Father let the president take one ingot at random and have it examined. The result of the examination showed the 10 kilogram ingot was 99.99% pure. And 0.01% not. He said he's from a family crest. The one-winged eagle was carved into it.
Almost instantly, these are mere legends of gold spreading on the fixture of the business world. Glover on no foundry with a polar rate of conversation to money. Taking it with a chance for decisive profit, they accepted it as a collaborative. As a result, the father was able to receive a giant loan.
There's no limit how ridiculous you can get. How old are you people? Yes. Are you still taking that nursery tell you for others to get seriously? Yes. Yes, where is the proof that the 10 tons worth of gold to exist? Isn't just the lies of the father and those who are close to him? Of course it's just a story, but still, brother. The amount of money that father raised required a suitable quantity of collaborative. Even if the gold was just a rumor, that he must have seen the treasure of comparison worth is an unmistakable truth. It was just an illusion money created by our penny was sponsored, yes. We had seen the knowledge of God actually existed for his sponsors, food sponsor. It's probably the gamble for a lifetime, yes. Unfortunately, he used his funds proved successful. If the Korean War had come and the Ushimi family had not been true, father would probably have been hounded after this as a croak of the country.
In that case, are saying that the gold never existed and that father made it all up?
Of course, yes. Therefore, after we officially successful, the illusion of the gold becomes inconvenient. The father made that sure story about the witch and the black magic made the whole thing seem less believable. In other words, he revealed that the illusion of the gold was fabricated, yes. If he said that he revealed the gold from a witch, no one believed that it exists at all, right? He probably said it all for our stakes, yes. In other words, some stupid offering wanted to divide up this noggins and go with the rest of his hairs that have appeared. Rhoda, don't tell me that you even believe this kind of fabrication. I can't prove whether or not Father really has the gold. However, as one of the father's 4 children, I just want to claim my rightful share. Put my hands on my hips, cause, you know, I'm sassy. Oh, looks like even Rhoda started to say it all. Yes, alright, maybe this is what you wanted to say. That I'm trying to keep you on from the gold to myself.
Nee, brother! The fact that you've maintained a massive amount of funding, and we rule out the possibility that you have been embezzling Father's personal funds. There's only one possibility, that's right.
Brother, maybe you have already found the 10 tons of gold bars. It sure looks like that way to us. Ridiculous, yes. Wait, I need to give an actual distinguishable voice. Because I'm doing this, yes, ridiculous, something like that never existed in the first place. Yes, he's like some weird accent.
Then explain yourself. Embezzlement Father accepted to hit Fathers in gold. How would you have got so much fun if you didn't use one of those?
I have had many friends in the political world and financial world. I have done nothing to gain their assistance, and in that I have no responsibility to explain it to you. You understand, don't you? There are some topics that we can be talked to now. If you insist on it, that's alright. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. But brother, Father doesn't have long. Nobody can surely live to see this day next year. When Father died, the inheritance will be passed on. We will all set up impartial lawyers and accountants to inspect Father's financial and political status.
If at that time the fact that our brother had unjustly interfered with Father's money comes to light, you understand, right?
I don't have a clue what you're talking about. You're starting to make me feel as and it did it my wife was. Man, why you say that?
Father's gold is definitely one of Father's assets. Understand his mind that you can can't reveal openly, but fortunately we had an equal right to it.
In short, even though you are our brother, we will have your financial situation investigated to determine whether or not you are hoarding the gold.
Isn't this a good opportunity? Prove yourself this backup from friends and acquaintances that you mentioned. If you are innocent, we can cordially apologize for foolishly doubting you. Right, Rosa?
That's right. Kraus, you're the one who's avoiding the topic. If you are guilty, you could just prove that you were in the right. Yet you aren't even trying to respond.
However, brother, we still have to consider your position here. As father representative, you're probably bearing a larger share of burden than we were. It wouldn't be fair for the rest of us, who have been living terribly relaxed lives until now, were to complain without taking that into account.
Oh, until then I've been busy being spoken ill of and being flattered. Please get to the point.
And so, randomly investigating nitpicky aspect of father's wealth is a fairly inefficient way to do it. As you said, Kraus, we also be moving some money that are too difficult to explain. Upon understanding that we have come to consult with you. A mutually beneficial consultation.
Consultation? Oh, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
When the inheritance is distributed, you will be rewarded for your years of hard work taking care of Dad by an arrangement that is generous in your favor.
Don't misunderstand this, brother. It's not like we're saying we will abandon all your rights. All rights, yes. It's just that when we claim what we deserve, it wouldn't be bad if we allow a generous understanding for the condition. That's what we mean.
In other words, if you accept our condition at the time of the division of the inheritance, we won't mind giving the investigative father's financial status to you, Kraus.
I'll assume from Eva downward suspect that Kraus was trying to steal their family's father's wealth. In that situation, letting Kraus report on the state of their father's wealth by himself was incredibly contradictory and a huge confusion. If, as they claimed, Kraus was actually embezzling money, Kraus would be able to hide that fact. Besides that, it would also be possible for him to control the situation of the inheritance in a manner favorable to himself. Kraus, also realizing it sounded too good to be true, couldn't help but feel doubt. He had to worry about what kind of collateral they had to make this kind of compromise. Oh, after misunderstanding me completely, you now say you're willing to restore your confidence in as me and the older sibling? And what are you asking for?
Just what we deserve as siblings. You aren't the kind of person who would steal father's property. However, there was no patron financing you. Including all that, there was a certain explanation that would satisfy the rest of us.
Brother, you found 10 tons of gold and used that as collateral to gather some funding. Yes, just like father did in the past, right?
If that's the case, there won't be any funny bits in father's finances. You've always been a good son, looking after father. Why would we insult a person like that?
You're being so random, I can barely understand you. Say it more clearly and practically.
Our first condition, brother, you must admit that you have found father's gold.
Are you asking me to admit that I possess gold that does not exist?
Our second condition, regarding the gold, take each sibling's portion and pay it to us.
You're foolish. Would it not exist in 20 billion yen of gold? That would be 5 billion yen per person. Are you telling me to pay a total of 15 billion yen? Ridiculous.
Keep listening until the end, goddammit! I will eat you! We know how much money can't just appear out of nowhere. We're asking to make that an impossible deal. Of course, regarding the portion of the gold, we plan to reward you sufficiently for your hard work until now in your calculations.
Our third condition, the portion of the gold to one bearing the title of successor to the family will be 50%. The remaining will be split fairly between the siblings. Of course, this also includes you, Kraus.
Of the 20 billion, 12.5 billion will go to the brother, 2.5 billion will go to Eva, 2.5 will go to me, and 2.5 will go to Rosa.
That portion makes me so grateful I could cry. So you're saying for the sake of the gold that doesn't exist, I must pay you 7.5 billion.
What's wrong? I'm evil. Brother, your share is 5 times the size of ours. That's such a good condition, I'd be jumping for joy.
I'm assume this is...
Our fourth condition, the divided gold will be included with the inheritance distributed at the time of father's death. However, as a deposit, 10% of our portions will be paid to us promptly. The payment must be before March of next year.
What do you think, Kraus? This is an ideal chance for you to restore the trust that you'll need to run father's assets, isn't it? Of course, it might be impossible to go a whole 7.5 billion before father dies. Hope you can't say that you can manage this positive 75,000 million, right?
Being 700,000 million half a year might be slightly bothersome. Oh my gosh, who is bothering me on Skype? Who is it? Wait, I want to see who it is first. Oh, I can't check it. I don't want to check without, like, you know, exiting this thing, so I'll just keep going. But brother, who has many friends. Oh wait.
Paying 700 million in a half a year might be slightly bothersome, but brother who has many friends in political business spheres should be able to manage it. Normally I'd hope to receive the 7. Wait, who is speaking? Normally I'd hope to receive the 7.5 billion right now all at once. But if I have concern for you, I'll show my sincerity by asking you for 10% of that for the time being. The try to with the remaining 90% carry out into the distribution of the inheritance. Right? With 10% show sincerity, even you wouldn't notice it.
So my right to investigate the stance of founder the Senate is being sold to me for 75,000 million. Hee. Sure. Isn't that great? We're all sure have grown. I never thought you'd be more capable of offering a deal to me.
Brother, if you accept these rest of us, we will leave the investigation of father's assets to you. However, the result of that investigation will be subject to protest. It's only natural, right? We'd be sad if you adjusted our portion of 7.5 billion downwards.
As a general rule, we wouldn't complain. As long as you went neatly, it's fine. As long as we don't do anything sufficiently obvious, we don't plan on it to aggravate anything. We just want the inheritance quickly. We don't want it to get all drawn out and led astray.
In the case of a compliment, who would do the second instigation? It's the right if it is you. This will probably be the first and last opportunity for Stewie to discuss this. I wish it won't come to that. Cackle.
Bertha really can talk sometimes.
Because she's hot. That Cross is completely not trusted as the old sibling is so obvious at this point that there's no need to explain it. The formerly tyrant and the oldest brother would always abuse his privilege and violate the other sibling's share. Compared to that, the other three, who had become adults, were now striking back at him for the first time, and only by working together.
I'm sorry, but our further conditions, our fifth condition, this decision must be take precedence of our father's will. Later on, we don't want someone here to appear and make this decision completely useless.
I see that you're very cautious. When the answer to the goal is really found, what would you do?
As long as you settle this matter with the corresponding payment, the rest of us really don't care whether the gold appeared or not. You can take up our share as an invest payment.
It's alright to dream. You plan to turn the tyrant into a result, right? Turning construction might stumble upon this goal by chance.
He would a high-pitched laugh. Crowd watched without even flinching. When we had a 7 condition before I thought there was 5. In this situation, any sibling other than myself finds the gold, they immediately turn over to me.
Yes, of course. Of course we'll hold it on for you. Giggle.
It was a play on words. The others, who were forcing Cross to pay money for non-existent gold, would of course not ensure Krause's portion if they actually found the gold. From the beginning, this deal had been nothing more than a threat directed at Krause. While the trust might be different, there's a possibility that Krause embezzling father that's extremely high. When at last Kenzo faced death and the inheritance would be distributed, surely some unpleasant fact would be established. And the situation would mostly be fatal to Krause. They had snatched up that weak point and, under the vial of compromise, were threatening their brother to try and wheel out a huge sum of money. However, they had let one thing slip. The three of them had forgotten about their oldest sibling, who they couldn't defeat unless they banded together, was very crafty and a swiftly spinning brain. Krause, noticing that Eva, sure of her victory, could not hide her smile, waxing in a gloating laugh as he spoke. Isn't that a great story? I have also felt a deep pain in my heart, the estrangement from the rest of you. If by accepting these conditions, the relationship between siblings could once again become friendly, I would be quite pleased. I'll join in on with pleasure. Be happy, Rosa. The deal is concluded. Hang on, I'm gonna see how I can make this faster. Oh, I forgot the buttons. Hang on. Maybe F goes full screen. Oh my god. No, stop that game. Oh no. Well, okay, so the S button speeds up everything.
Oh crap, I'll see you in a few minutes, guys. It didn't take long, just took me like a few minutes. Dots. Like Chihiro. Rosa's expression deemed. When her brother started talking like this, the conversation would never change for the better. Eva was also sensitive enough to realize this. Therefore, even though Krause had obediently accepted the deal, she was unable to wipe away her feelings of insecurity.
My, how obedient! That's not like you, brother!
That's harsh. You think I have an ulterior motive? Of course there isn't one. Just the same as all of you.
Just the same as
All as you. It felt as though that part was emphasized. The color of Rudolph's face darkened. I want to get it to be like black. He's tan, but he's not black. He heard as if I have an idea at the very same level as yours. I gave him a sense of urgency. Trying not to bring his near-finished discussion up to a conclusion, he rushed up to wrap it up. Then we are all good. So, brother, would you mind signing here? This is a written contract containing the discussion we have been having. There's one for each person. Everyone will sign for the same content. Rook took 4 written contracts out of his breast pocket. That had the detail of the deal written on them.
The seven condition that Cross proposed will of course be added from now on. Don't worry.
Brother, will you use a pen? Rudolph took a fountain pen out of his breast pocket and offered it to Krause. Krause made as if to accept it, but then with a small laugh drew back his hand without taking it and spoke.
Actually, in order to make sure this agreement is definitely effective, I'd like to propose a single amendment. Can we just go to the beach? When Krause said that one sentence, all of a sudden we felt as though something annoying was creeping up their backs at the same time.
That won't do. We've already decided, haven't we? Quickly sign it.
No.
Quietly sign it.
Eva, why are you so impatient? Of course I will sign it. I'll promise that your share of gold will be 7.5 billion yen. I also promise that when Father Tanner distributes, I will cleanly and neatly liquidate it. However, in one part, there is a point that I cannot compromise on no matter what.
What are you talking about? What point don't you like?
The part about promptly paying 10% of each portion, 750 million yen. As you point out, my politician financial status is not prosperous. While I can assure I will definitely collect on various future investments, at this time I have no choice but admit I am very poor. In short, I have absolutely no money that I can move around right now. I am incompetent. My business skills and senses are dull. Since I am weak, as you all say, I have no power to move 750 million in just a half a year.
That can't be true. Are you saying to deceive us with such a careless act? Trick, I don't even know what he's saying.
At the time of the division of the inheritance, I will liquidate everything at once, with the condition that I must pay you 10% in advance. That is the only situation I'm willing to sign under.
Krause, that 10% nothing more than number to measure your sincerity, isn't it? There isn't really any room for argument on this deal. We're doing you a favor by offering to let things slide for the 10% in good faith money. Now that you understand that, rejecting our offer would seriously damage our trusting relationship, yes?
Yoshi had a humble expression in his face and was rubbing his hands together, but his eyes were not calm at all. Krause had already seen through the shadow and depth of those eyes. Why are you all so hurried? Are you possibly afraid of something? Rosa, why don't you tell me at least? At least me. Secretly, we're not telling the rest of the siblings. It's not like I...
Quit it, brother. All we're asking is whether you're going to sign or not. Just forget about making any strange deal or anything suspicious.
Oh, do I have no margin for no negotiation? Do you claim that my position is so weak that we are not even in a relationship? Shivers began to crawl through us back. Again, the feel himself getting sucked in by the height of his brother, completely insurmountable wall, and a long shadow which had existed since they were children. Shouldn't this deal be made on even footing? To me, if the deal would restore the long-lost trust of my younger brother and sisters and defend the love between us siblings. And there had been an uneasiness in my heart to have these resolved quickly. I would be very happy if it could be resolved today. But you two would be very happy if the deal were quickly resolved, wouldn't you? Krause stared at each of his siblings. They avoided his gaze with animal-like instinct. Only Hiroshi was still avoiding it, so he was caught in Krause's gaze. Hiroshi, I hear that your company is going extremely well recently, hasn't it? With swift rhyme, it has become Listed as a stock, and both his performance and stock prices have soared. I mean, I'm truly jealous.
But my husband's situation surely has nothing to do with this.
However, unfortunately, you have neglected your stockholders. Also horrible that you are unable to sold and free your base when you become stock listed. Before you realize that some bad-natured colleagues of yours have brought up a huge share of your company's stock, didn't they?
How could you know something like that?
The same way as Hiroshi. If you can collect evidence proving that no one would offer a loan to me, then I can collect evidence on Hiroshi. And really strange on the thing. Cross grinned broadly. In contract, Hiroshi's face was turning obviously pale. Really? He looks quite tan. I find it weird how, like, nah. It's like just genes. Because, like, you know, Hiroshi's a tanned guy. Eva's white. George is just plain white. Sam was Battler, like. Rudolph's white. Like, he's tanned. Probably a suntan or something. I don't know. Hiroshi's company was a fast food chain management company that he started from nothing. Yeah, supposed to be food. So Hiroshi's management efforts, performance of the business repeatedly rose and magnified, and recently positioned to make it a stock-listed company succeeded. The grand advantage of being in a stock-holding system was that, by selling stock certificates, a large amount of financing would be gained. The amount was far greater than the actual profit from the business. They made an extremely efficient way to gather massive funds needed to grow his company even further. However, in exchange for financing the company, stockholders had certain rights. That was, in order to give the company that they had financed even greater profit, they had the right to observe and collect. That right was guaranteed to all stockholders, and they would sometimes use it to dismiss inofficial management. It was a right to prevent the money they have spent financing the company from going to waste by watching management of the company. I still haven't realized what, like, the button that makes, like, everything, like, the text go bam, not like how it's like, you know, how they do it right here. However, if they use this right forcibly, they can eject the former management and take over the company. Because the general body of all shareholders has the power to dismiss the management and nominate new management. Oh, I run on. Didn't. That power is determined based on the majority decision of the stockholders, and people who hold more stock get to cast more votes. In other words, if some people on a group hold the majority of the stock, they can freely chase out the old management and make the president anyone they would like. If they want, it is also possible for them to make themselves president. In many companies, their stocks get brought up by malicious people, and in order to prevent their decision from being threatened, they make their own employees or people close to them buy a list of stock certificates to present hostile action for being taken by majority, then try to take some kind of defensive measures. However, since Hiroshi's company had only recently been stock listed, he hadn't had the time to strengthen their defensive measurements. No, maybe Hiroshi himself was so engrossed in the management of this company that he couldn't realize the danger of being stock listed. It's hard to say whether he should be viewed as a kind-hearted and skilled manager, emergent management, or a foolish manager who had his feet swept out from under him. There were people out there who would not let him get away with that naivety unscathed. They began repeatedly buying up Hiroshi's company stock and selling, gained such strength they couldn't be ignored. Then they sent anonymous documents to the shareholder and began to capture the majority. Documents read, the current management continues to make pointless investments and ignoring the needs of stockholders. Let's force the current management to retire, cut the current waste investments, and let the company be born again as one. That gives more back to stockholders. It's very difficult to make the actual state of the company's management known. Success created by Hiroshi's time out of sleep and his constant concern for his mom, don't laugh. For his company was cruelly twisted, and he has lost the trust of his stockholders. Their efforts almost collected the majority of the stock in the company. At the point, even Hiroshi noticed and started to buy back the stock of the stockholders, who realized that the company was undergoing an acquisition maneuver, demanding a ridiculous price for shares that Hiroshi was trying to buy back. They continuously tortured Hiroshi, who had no leeway in the negotiation of the price. One of the certainties of capitalism, that value will rise even more when both parties I don't know, both for the same thing. And one of the certainties of democracy that the majority controls everything. So in the end, whoever manages to buy out the most stock wins. So whoever has the most money wins. If Hiroshi can obtain a large sum of money at a critical time, he would be able to avoid losing all of it which he had built up. Therefore, more than anything else, he won a lot of money right now. He couldn't wait for the division of Kenzo's inheritance. which could happen at any time. And you, Rudolph, you've been in a lot of trouble lately, haven't you? Oh my god, they're gonna go on and on about him too. They say that it's a scary overseas, but it seems that really true. American trials are settled quite emotionally. You won't give a general judgment to a foreigner. Aren't you advised by your lawyer that making a settlement with other party would be more economical in the end? Wait, she was here? She was here? What are you... Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, it's some trouble from work. It's no big deal. Let me settle with money.
Kiri quickly recognized Rudolph's complicated expression meant. Her husband had gotten wrapped up in some kind of trouble without her knowledge, and he had been suffering alone. It's right. In this world, anything can be settled with money. After all, it can even buy back the broken bonds between siblings. America is very fussy about the violation of rights. America! With money, anything can be settled. Long live capitalism. Although it's rumored that settlement money can reach several $1,000,000, isn't it? Rudolph and... Oh, yes they are. Talk about Rudolph now. I don't know if I can keep going. I'm going to keep going a little more. Rudolph had been building a large amount of wealth with a certain type of niche market. However, a niche is a niche. It's definitely not a sunny job. American cooperative giant was trying to accuse Rudolph's company of violating their rights. For various reasons, it was thought that winning the trial was extremely unlikely and Rudolph would admit for an all-out surrender. But even that was a path for Dahl with money. If he could pay that money, though it might be painful, he could still... Wait, are they going to talk about Rose's job too? If he didn't pay, he'd lose everything. Therefore, more than anything else, he wants a lot of money right now. Rosa, you're good at... Yep, they are. Rosa, you're a good and noble little sister. You wouldn't even touch a dangerous money game. However, your soft-hearted nature was your... She's not soft-hearted, you'll see later. Wasn't it? I wouldn't think one would want to agree to become a co-signer so lately. That has nothing to do with this, Kraus. Rosa uncharacteristically lay bare her emotions and yelled. There's no way he could know. As Kraus watched, he slipped a muffled laugh. Without expectation, every one of them, more than anything else, wanted a... Why is Ryukishi put that in capitalization? Is it emphasis? Emphasis! In other words, the situation had been... God damn it, Drake and Josh. Because only Kraus, who they were threatening had no urgent need for a large sum of money. Compared to that, the three were threatening and wanted money quickly no matter what the cost. So Kraus was able to control his deal however he liked. Kraus was very sly. He had known of his Achilles heel from the beginning. Oh, he had known it there. Even so, he had not been certain. Therefore, he had hidden that until the very end, and upon closely and completely examining their attitude, he had struck back. If I could, I'd love to raise some money for my cute brother and sister in the time of need, but unfortunately I have nothing on my hand. If you have any sponsors in mind that could raise a whole $750 million, I suggest you try there first. Kraus's elected words were horribly blunt. Their sibling could do nothing more than listen, grinding their teeth. Oh, we're grinding. I'm grinding my teeth. Wait. I'm grinding my teeth. I'm grinding my teeth. I'm grinding my teeth. Oh, that hurt my teeth. If they could think of a sponsor that convenient, they wouldn't be kept up this charade. They entered this huge battle precisely because they had exhausted all of their options. If you weren't still set on relying on your brother, you can use my influence to find a sponsor. Well, wait, you already said I have no influence. Well then, I can't do anything, can I? Oh man, you're a dick. Hee 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 hee. Kraus's low, gloating laugh began to fill the parlor. Younger sibling who had, until now, been driving his brother into a corner, could do nothing more than a grimace and grind their teeth.
Evil.
Don't make me laugh. As if I could borrow from you. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Oh.
Damn, she's hot. Sorry. If we relied on you, how could you help us? I told you, didn't I? All I could do is find another sponsor for you. Of course, I will negotiate for the largest interest rate possible. Hee 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 ha ha ha.
Damn you! Taking advantage of us.
Honey, please calm down, cause I'll start with dragon.
I am calm. I'm extremely cool. You bastard.
Kyrie grabbed her husband's hand, but that action made him feel even more pitiful, so Rudolph shook it off. Now walk it out, I'll walk it out. Kraus's laughed as though seeing that made him extremely happy. In times like this, it sure would be nice to find founders in gold. If you did, you could split it into 2.5 billion yen fortune right now. I'll see it, how very sad. How extremely, totally, truly, helplessly sad. Tonight, as well as the sibling drink together, we're going to solve the riddle of Beatrice Ampeton and discover the location of founders in gold. If combined four family siblings, there's showing no puzzle that can't be solved. Damn, you're evil.
Transition to black.
Can we go to the beach now? I've been waiting for 3 freaking episodes. Are we at? No, we're not at the beach yet. Are we? No! No! No!
They're doing something interesting. Well then, what litigation they are attached? Yes,
Whether or not Kraus actually discovered the gold, he will pay. Oh wait, who is this? I think it's canon. Yes, whether or not Kraus actually discovered the gold, he will pay Eva, Rudolph, and Rosa a total of 7.5 billion yen for their shares. However, 10% of that will be paid before March.
Kraus, you don't. That would have his feet swept from under by his younger siblings. Isn't that truly pleasant? But it seems that their trap was naive.
Yes, Kraus exposed that Eva and younger siblings had all urgent need to get money.
Can you really call something of that level exposing? That's incompetent. That's incompetent man. What are they doing now?
That conversation has been on hold for the time being. Now, Beatrice's appetite is being discussed.
So they're trying to solve the riddle and find out where my gold is hidden?
Yes. Kola sat down his glasses and snorted.
Will the miracle be before field force? Will those fools explode the gold first? What they cite? If those fools solve my puzzle, at the time I will be completely defeated. They can suck my corpse down to the last fragrance of bone. Rich magic can house the miracle from the fool's greed. And yet, if the fulfillment of the miracle comes first, Beatrice will be resurrected again. That's my which I've been. You can see my whole life will be restored. Oh, every time, Beatrice. The good night when the miracles raise and devils will game again. I will definitely win. Definitely will do live. I will give you another Beatrice. I don't have any wealth or honor or cystic or anything. I only want to see us marry one more time. Oh,
Kendo choked, apparently in great pain. Kendo got closer and tried to pat his master's back, but Kendo signaled that he didn't need to.
Do you know what I went to trouble exploiting the hidden location to gold so that everyone could see it?
No.
Because magical power is decided by risk. If the number of people who try to discover Beatrice's gold is great, and I know that happening is great as well. Think that the bet is successful despite the long odds, the magical power will bring about the grand miracle. In other words, magic is a game. It is not true that the most superior person will become the winner. The winner is superior because he is granted magic. Do you understand? The miracle of life can be granted only after winning against the odds of several 100 million to 1. It's a little difficult for you to understand.
My apologies.
That's fine. It all comes down to this. To the one that solved the mystery of Beatrice's Epita, I will give that all that which I have built up. Wealth, honor, gold, inheritance from your family, everything I have established. Attacking the riddle is only the condition. It is not limited to my children. For example, if you succeed in solving it, that would be qualified to gain everything.
Yes, however, I couldn't possibly understand such a difficult riddle.
Of course, I made it difficult. But you must also challenge it. That will become the seed which the miracle of my magic will be summoned. If everyone challenged it and everything failed, that will be that. However, if the miracles are gathered and magical power get born, it will happen then. Beatrice will revive, therefore you must challenge it. Everything must challenge it. And in doing that, they must gain strength to my magic. Do you understand?
Yes. Shut up. I will try. For a long time, Kendo repeatedly muttered to himself, agitating, grabbing onto his head. Kendo stayed where he was, worried and unmoving, until he was given next order from his master. Kendo finally realized this.
Very well, leave me. There is a bag of sweets on the liquor cabinet. You can take some, but you as a reward.
I'm fine. After all, I am furniture.
So furniture doesn't eat sweets? Indeed. In that case, leave me.
Yes. Excuse me. Cannon bowed and left the study. As the door was closed, a heavy locking noise resounded. Oh my god, what's gonna happen next? The beach? The frickin' beach? I've literally been waiting. I'm gonna end this episode when we get to this beach. It could take hours. That was not the sound of Ken unlocking the door. It was the door locking automatically. No one can enter without Kenzo's permission, and once they left, they could not enter again. It was the mechanism that Kenzo, unable to trust his blood relatives, have created to lock himself in his own stunning, not to go himself from the outside world. He was already unable to trust anyone excepting not the sons who shared his blood, but those servants who called themselves furniture. Man. Like, Jesus, man, this furniture and shit.
Najo, how are you feeling?
Ah, Gingy. Oh, just that there's no place for me anymore. With a bitter laugh, Nando turned to face the door to the parlor. But he not because of that motion, Gingy understood what Nando wanted to say. For the most part, Gingy also understood the family situation. It must have made him want to frown, knowing that right now in the lodge, the master he served was also discussing, so I can't read. It would have been very difficult to gather this from his indifferent expression. But I don't understand. Why did Kenzo have something so provocative right now, I wonder? Now they looked at the portrait of Beatrice. No, he actually directs his gaze beneath the portrait at the plate with the epitaph.
I don't presume to understand the master's thoughts. However, I realize that those thoughts are very deep.
Since long ago, when Kenzo played chess, he would always prepare his moves according to some far-reaching judgment. Yes, sometimes even to make moves I couldn't understand. For an average person, like me, impossible to see through that whatever he was planning.
Sometimes I wonder whether there's not some kind of will from the master. Would he entrust his assist and inheritance to whoever could solve this riddle?
That maybe he had hoped to force the four to work together and solve the riddle. For some outsider like myself solved it, it might be something like that. Kenzo might rudely abuse his children but he may also hope that siblings repay their relationship. If, as Najo said, the epitaph had been written to repair relations between his siblings, that would be extremely pleasant. For both Najo and Gingy realized that at least that was definitely impossible. For those who had a long relation with Kenzo, even though they were more trusted in blood relative, they could not guess at Kenzo's true motive.
The master is always saying that it doesn't matter where they are family of the member of the family, as long as they have the qualification of solving the riddle. What about you, Dr. Najo?
No, it's a little too hard for understand for a sensible old man. Actually, I wrote this epitaph down on my notepad at one point in time. Night after night, I try to solve before going to sleep. But it really is hard. Looks like there might be some free time I can consider it sometime to get up. What do you say, Gingy?
I am nothing more than furniture that serves the master. Gold and assets are useless to me.
My, you are a humble person. That's probably why Kenzo trusts you so much.
If so, I am on edge?
Another lightly laughed in response. He once again looked at the epitaph. My beloved hometown. You know what? Screw it. I'm ending the episode off here. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you next episode where maybe we'll go to the beach. Who freaking knows with this game?